Hey, welcome back to another episode on our new series, Pro Tips to Live a Dynamic Lifestyle. If you're new to this show, you definitely want to stay for this because we're dropping them every single day and we're giving you guys tips from literally experts and legit pro tips on how to live a dynamic lifestyle, especially in this pandemic and new circumstances and landscape that we're facing. So if you're interested, make sure to subscribe below. Other than that, get ready for this next one and we'll see you later. Jill, how you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. So we're really excited about this new segment that we're doing with a lot of cool guests. So you are guest number one. So are you ready? Are you ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right. So just really quick, how have you been doing? Just with everything going on with like the quarantine, the pandemic, I just want to know how you're doing with all this.
Yeah. So to be real, I was definitely not doing well initially. I think I think most people, if they say that they are doing fantastic, they're not telling the whole story because this really was a pivot. This really was a curveball. It was oh my gosh, what's going on? And I'll say that the first week or two of this, every morning I'd wake up like, is this a bad dream? Is this really happening? Like, is this a new reality? What's going on there? And I think it would be strange for someone to say that it didn't affect him that way because I'm 48 years old and I've never in my lifetime experienced something of this magnitude. And I'm somebody who was very present during 9/11. I lived in Washington, D.C. I lived in the neighborhood that a year after 9/11, there was a sniper attack and we were all quarantined to our homes. I also was very present to what happened in 2008, 2009 with the housing market crash. It was very personal to me. So I've had some major setbacks in my life, but never in my life have I witnessed something of this magnitude that I felt it was like out of my scope of being able to process. And so it did throw me for the first few weeks during it all. I will share that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree 100% too, because I've seen some people out there saying like, I'm doing fantastic. I'm crushing it. I'm getting shit done. It's like, okay, well, like, you really tell me this didn't affect you a little bit because it's something we've never seen as a nation before,
So there's a difference between being empathetic and feeling and then letting something, paralyze and stop you. And where I see the disconnect is that if you're human, how did it not shock you and disrupt you some? And what's funny is I watch leaders that are usually leading their message, but they were scared to share that they're feeling this. And I think it makes you human. I think to not share that, doesn't really work. I think people, especially your customers, your clients, your people that follow you, they're looking for one to know, are you human? Do you feel this? Can you relate? Because if you can't, your customers certainly are. So they want to know, are you empathetic? And then they want to know how you are navigating it. And those are the two things. And I think if you skip that first part, you come off as really out to somewhere else. I don't know. Like it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel right if you can't acknowledge the empathy and the feeling in it all.
Yeah. And just even coming from you too, I know like when we interviewed you, just like on our regular show, just like the full on thing, like you're all about just like, being authentic, just sharing your feelings and stuff too. So I agree 100%. And also too, I know you've been just kind of battling and going through your rehab with your tricep injury. So how's that going?
Yep.
Okay. How's that going with everything else?
So it's interesting. I've had a year of learning to surrender and go with the flow before this even happened. So leading up to what happened here, I had two major injuries this year, one with my back and had surgery there. And just when I had rehabbed and recovered to that, I tore my bicep, my right bicep, my dominant arm. So I ended up in emergency surgery. And this all happened. The surgery was 2 weeks before this pandemic was really getting present to what was happening. So I was already learning to navigate kind of being thrown off course and a new normal for myself. And then this happened. So for me, it doubled down like, okay, now I've got two things. What is the lesson in it all? And what I wanted to do with my audience is I didn't have any answers. And I don't believe anyone actually has any answers right now. Like we just don't know. We don't know what's happening. Like we might think we do, but we don't know. There's a lot of unknown right now. And what I decided to do was just be really real with my audience, not from a victim standpoint, but from like, hey, y'all, I feel this too. This is what I'm feeling. I even polled my audience, like, what's the feeling that you've got coming up most? And anxiety was a big one. And anxiety comes when you feel uncertainty, and when anxiety also comes from living in past or present or future. I'm sorry, not present, future. And what happens with something like this that shakes us to our core is one, we're really stuck with the past, with what was, like, because we're all used to that. And then we're worried about the future. So we're really in this place of past and future versus just being in the present moment. And that's what creates anxiety. So I'm not an expert in dealing with anxiety, but I'm an expert in feeling it. So I shared that openly with my audience. And what I personally did is on my podcast, Leveling Up, I went out of my way to film and record people that are experts with anxiety because I wanted their take on it. Like, how do you navigate this?
Yeah.
So for me personally, it's sharing with my audience what's real, sharing with them what I'm personally doing, and then doing the best I can to serve them in this time with what I'm learning as well. So just meeting them where they are and serving them from that spot.
Yeah, absolutely. I love how you actually kind of like angled your podcast to like bring on experts in anxiety, because that is a big deal that people are dealing with right now. So great work on that.
And I paused the interviews I was going to release. You know, those are still great interviews, but they just didn't make sense right now.
Exactly. Sure. Yeah, and that's a great call. So something I've been seeing that you're doing, you're giving a lot of great value like on your Instagram posts right now. So what would you say to like your audience or community to just really, how do they kind of uplift themselves a little bit, like get a little bit more positivity, and like most importantly, how do they reinvent themselves right now to take advantage of the downtime to maybe get things done they weren't getting done?
Yeah, I've got a lot to say on that, but I'll try to keep it brief. The first thing is there's no award for being the best homeschooling mom or the best entrepreneur right now or the best like creative, most organized person. Like this is not a contest. There's no award for that. So let's drop that. Anyone that makes you feel like you have to be, that's a problem. I saw a quote going around that just completely triggers me. And I'm probably going to botch it, but something around that that during this time, if you're not learning a new skill or launching a new business, then it's not about, the quote said, it's not about you not having time. It's about you not being committed or you being lazy, something like that.
Discipline.
Yeah. And I thought, what an arrogant quote, what a judgmental, awful post. Like we've never dealt with something like this. Like there's no right or wrong way to handle yourself right now. So no, I don't feel that. So what do I suggest? I suggest using this time to practice, and I'm doing the very same thing as I'm speaking with you, Eric and Chris. I'm doing this exact thing. Let's use this time to focus on how can we be more living in the present? How can we get really clear with present, and whatever that means? Does that mean feeling? Like a lot of us have really blocked out feelings for years. Like we thought that feeling things was bad. Like I have to numb feelings. Like use this time to actually feel, cry if you need to, get mad if you need to, freeze if you need to, but feel things. And then really get clear with the present. Like, what do you need right now for you? Like, is it just some alone time? Is it quiet time? Is it organizing? Is it like, what is it is it connecting with others? Like is it learning a new skill? But what is it that you need right now in this present moment to stay focused there? And the next thing is to really guard what's coming in, because wow, you can get really lost, me included, in a news feed. Like the first week that this was happening, I checked my phone. You know how you can see on your phone where you're spending your time. I had spent 6 hours on most days on Facebook, like not me posting, like me scrolling. Like what the heck? Of course I was feeling anxious and miserable because I was reading about conspiracy theories, or I was reading about ulterior motives. I was reading about doomsday. We're all going to die. Like no wonder I felt like crap. And the bottom line is, in this present moment, most of you listening, you're safe. Like most of you listening right now, you're safe. You're at home. You've got your family. You don't know people that are dying right now. Like you are safe.
Yeah.
Even your money. Like you might think by reading about stock market or going down doomsday path that everything is falling apart, but it's all monopoly money until you need it. So like right now in this very moment, you are safe. So staying there. And then a big lesson I got, especially from the interviews I did, is, and this has really served me well, is really getting clear on what can you control and what can't you control, and focus on what you actually can control and let go of all the things that you can't.
Are you a fitness professional looking to create more income, impact, influence, and independence? If so, we actually just dropped our new book, Rise of the Fit Pros, so you guys can be on your way to doing all those things, and you can sit there and build your hybrid training model. So if you're interested in getting your copy, make sure to click the book or the link right here, and you guys can grab it. Other than that, make sure to enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah. Whew. Yeah. That's such a powerful one too. And I've been preaching that, just, control what you can, don't stress what you can't. And yeah, I love everything that you hit on, Natalie. So thanks for sharing that. And then is there
You're
anything
welcome.
that you've kind of like just like had like a breakthrough in terms of like
Mhm.
just productivity or, just getting shit done? Because I know still you have to get things done within the context of your business and stuff. And that's just who you are by nature. So is there anything that
Yeah.
you've picked up since this?
You know, no, not really. I think I've probably done less during this time
Okay.
than I ever have, and I think it's just because I'm feeling like everybody else, and I don't
Yeah.
know that I just don't feel like it sometimes,
Yeah,
like.
definitely.
But I'm really listening to my audience, like, what do they need? Like, I don't typically create new fitness products right now, for example, but I have a ton in my resources, and I listened to my audience. I saw a lot of people doing challenges and all that, and I'm like, I wasn't really feeling it. But then, just this last week, I was like, my audience really wants some home workout stuff. So how can I serve them? I can bundle together some of my best stuff. I could give it to them at a very discounted rate to help
Yeah.
many people that are laid off, that are struggling financially. I know, as you guys know, that fitness and movement really does help people's moods. So when I looked at it not from how much money am I going to make, because that doesn't really help people, but like really, how can I create a win-win? Like, how can I bundle something together that I have that's useful to help others, that also helps me keep the people that work for me? And so I created a win-win. So I released something there. I did that also with a partner company that I had a piece of equipment with. We discounted it incredibly until they were sold out, like literally sold out the stock. So I
Nice.
look at win-win scenarios, not my own agenda right now. Like, really, how can I serve my audience with what I have and make it a win-win? And my advice to anyone listening that has a business is, if you don't personally have a product right now that you could serve others with, this is the perfect time to partner with somebody who does,
Yep.
because there's others that you can affiliate for or do a brand deal with that's a win-win all the way around. Like, what else does your audience need, and find someone that has that.
Yeah,
Love
absolutely. And
that.
that's actually going to bring me into the next question I had. So it was perfect timing. Like, say hypothetically, you had to start from scratch, like this whole like pandemic took out your business, and you had 30 days like to really get something done with no money. What would you do? Is that what it would be, partnering?
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would first pull my audience. Like, what do you guys, I would understand what they need. Like, you can't really do anything if you don't understand what people need.
Yeah.
So the formula for a winning business, regardless of right now or whenever, is when you have a solution to a problem people have. That's always what works. You have to have a solution to a problem people have. So there's a lot of problems that people have right now. Where is your solution? And you could think it's dumb or not dumb, but there's a lot of companies winning right now. Like, for instance, if you're a female listening, you can completely relate to this. Most females, if they care about what they look like at all, they're struggling with, my hair is turning gray or dark or whatever, because you can't go to a hair salon. So we're like, we've all been joking, we're a couple weeks away from figuring out what everyone's real hair color is. So females are struggling with that. A lot of girls have the eyelash extensions. They're all falling out, so their eyelashes are gone. And then nails. Girls get their nails done. So
Yeah.
a guy might think this stuff is shallow, but these are real things. So I'll tell you, any ad that comes across on do-it-yourself hair color or magnetic eyelashes or whatever, those companies are cleaning up right now.
Mhm.
Okay. Same thing with
Good point.
home workout equipment. If you sell home workout equipment, holy moly, you can't buy it anywhere right now
Yeah.
because gyms are closed. So, like, what a great time to pivot. If you have a gym or a studio, could you loan out your equipment? Could you charge a rental fee for that? Could you go virtual with classes?
Yep.
Like, but really look at what's in needs someone has. This is not about you solving the world problem. I'm not asking for that. Just take it to your level. Like, what is a specific thing that you see people struggling with, and how can you offer a solution? I have a friend, by the way, that owns a hair salon, and she's struggling because that's her income. She's a very small one-person salon. She can't go to people's houses, so she decided to do Skype consults. She charges for it, but she'll put together your color. She'll drop it off clean and sanitize, with no touch delivery, and instruct you over Skype how to do it yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, that's nice.
What a
Clever.
brilliant idea.
Clever.
So it's a time to get creative with things like that.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Love it. Love it. All good suggestions. So kind of going to wrap this up, Natalie. I know you mentioned earlier that there's so much like uncertainty. There's so much, unknown going on right now. So my question to you is there anything that you fear right now, or just even going forward with this situation?
Yeah, I mean, I fear everything if I let my mind go to it. I mean, what if we're locked in our houses forever?
Yeah.
What if we all die of this disease? What if life has changed as we don't? I mean, I could go down. What if I end up homeless? Like, I don't know. There's a million things. The key is to not let my mind even go there. Like, I have to interrupt it.
Yeah.
So as soon as I'm going down those fears, I go back to what is this present moment right now? And am I safe right now? And the bottom line is I am.
Yeah.
Because we just don't know. And fear is really a waste of our energy because we cannot control it. So I'm not saying I don't feel it, because I do. But I've gotten really good at interrupting it and stopping myself when I start doing that.
Yeah. Love it. Love it. Powerful.
Well, Natalie, before I ask the last question, I just want to kind of just commend you, like, for just coming on this podcast, sharing your wisdom, your experience, and it's being like 100% like honest,
Yeah,
like
always.
empathetic,
Oh,
and not trying to sit there and put on this front like other people are doing. So I really appreciate that. So thank you so much. And then is there anything we can support you on right now, like the listeners or the audience?
I don't think that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. There's nothing you could, no, I guess not right now. I just want to be here to serve others right now. I mean, I'm here for anyone that needs support and that needs help. I did I really paused anything new I was doing, and I just put together stuff that I already have that can help serve people. So yeah, I don't know.
Awesome.
Thank
Awesome.
you.
So where can people connect with you?
Sure. They can connect with me anywhere on social media. I'm Natalie Jill Fit. My podcast is called Leveling Up. And if you are interested in any of what I've done from a business standpoint to look at what I've done, or if you actually want help at home, I have a nataliejillfitness.com/home fit, where I took the best of my workouts and put it together for people.
Awesome.
We'll have all that linked up in the show notes. So Natalie, once again, thank you so much for your time and your wisdom. Stay safe, with your family and everything. And I know you're going to, get through all this. So I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, until next time.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video and another episode on pro tips on living a dynamic lifestyle. We truly appreciate it. Hope you got a lot of value out of it. If you're interested in getting more value like this from these pro tips, make sure to subscribe above. We're going to be dropping these daily. Also, if you are a fitness professional and you're looking to create more income, impact, influence, and independence, we just dropped our new book, Rise of the Fit Bros, so you guys can do all of that. And you can also start building your hybrid training model with in-person and online training. So make sure to click the link or the book right here to grab your guys' copy, and we'll send it over to you. Other than that, we're out. Talk to you soon.